For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to
rumble! Yeah. What's up? This is our boy Coach Malachi Williams in the building. We now representing the New Media Today USA Boxing. Turn my lights on right quick, everybody. Turn my lights on. And we're gonna talk about this Josh Taylor José Ramírez fight coming up this upcoming Saturday. You know what I mean? And I expect this to be a really good fight, guys. A really good fight. You know what I mean? So nobody's really been talking about this fight. Of course, the talk of the town has been Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Everybody's been talking about that, you know what I mean? And we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. But, we're just going to focus on fights that's coming up right now. We do have José Ramírez and my main man, Josh Taylor, fighting. And I had All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. The camera went out for a minute. You know what I mean? Everything is going kind of crazy. Shelton Moore, what's going on, man? What's going on, my brother? Pampering myself today. Listen, yeah, for sure. Cool. You know what I mean? So listen. So nobody's really been talking about the Josh Taylor José Ramírez fight. You guys know I did say I like Josh Taylor, but then now I sit back and look at it. I've been looking at some footage of José Ramírez. I've been looking at some footage of Josh Taylor, and I do see that. Man, I can see, no, this is a pick'em fight. And no, Josh Taylor has no advantages over José Ramírez. This is a pick'em fight. You know what I mean? So it's a 50-50 fight. Both men are 5'10" tall. Josh Taylor gets in a lot of wars. He likes to bang. He likes to he likes to get into wars. I don't think that'll be a good strategy or tactic against José Ramírez, especially that José Ramírez is trained by Robert Garcia. And Robert Garcia fighters, they pretty much fight the same way. They come forward, they seek and they destroy. You see what I'm saying? And they look to catch you in the exchange. Josh Taylor can be baited into getting into these kind of fights. You know what I mean? So shout out to my brother Ronald Finkley, man, for the super chat. Shout out to Corn Kid. Shout out to Peter Reeves. Shout out to my brother what is that? I don't know how to pronounce your name, brother. I really don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm not even going to try to butcher it. Odu-san? Yeah, I guess Odu-san. I'm not even going to try to butcher your name. Shout out to my brother Shelton Moore. You know what I mean? So, other than that, we're going to give everybody time to roll in. They're going to roll in a little later. Or, this might be a topic that no one is really interested in, so if they don't roll in, that could be it as well. Because everybody's talking about Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and that is a hot topic. That is the topic to talk about. But I think we talked about that a lot yesterday, and I do want to give José Ramírez and Josh Taylor some shine, because no one has really been talking about these guys. This is the fight that's going down this weekend, and no one is literally talking about it. I did see a couple of channels mention it, talk about it, but that's how much less shine that they've been getting. You know what I mean? No one is talking about it. Shout out to my brother Philly Fly. What's going on? Shout out to Peter Reeves. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about it, right? I said, man, you know what? This is a pick'em fight. I got to go to the barbershop later on today and get trimmed up. So that's why we came on a little bit earlier today. So I don't expect a whole lot of people to be in today like they were yesterday. And then too, we're talking about José Ramírez and Josh Taylor. No one is interested in that. When I say no one, I'm not saying like the true fight fans want to see the fight. This is going to be for Undisputed junior, junior welterweight champion of the world. This is for Undisputed, junior welterweight or light welterweight. How either or light or junior, you can say it either way, it doesn't matter. But no one is interested in this fight. Like the true fight fans are going to watch it and see it, but it really amazes me. We have a fight of this magnitude that these guys are fighting for Undisputed. This is who's going to be the Undisputed junior welterweight or light welterweight champion of the world. And no one is really talked about it because of all of the things that have transpired with Tyson Fury in this arbitration and Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua and Fury having a Twitter war and all of this stuff there and yada, 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 yada. And no one has really promoted this fight. Like this is a Bob Arum fight. Bob Arum needs to just lead boxing alone. He just needs to lead the sport of boxing alone. Terence Crawford would be a fool if he resigns with Bob Arum after his contract is up in October. That would be very foolish of Terence Crawford, in my opinion. This guy ain't promoting nothing. You know what I mean? So Josh Taylor, 17-0. I think José Ramírez is like 25, 26-0, something like that. So you have a fight of this magnitude with guys fighting to see who's going to be the Undisputed light welterweight champion of the world. And it can't even get no shine. I haven't seen any advertising or promotion on this fight anywhere. But then, too, again, I don't watch TV. So I haven't watched television in probably like maybe a couple of years. So, I'm not a television watcher. That's a lie. I take that back. Only time I watch TV is when there's a fight. If there's a fight that I'm interested in, then I look at it then. But I don't watch like Sports Center, ESPN. I don't watch any of that. So the only time I watch that stuff is when there's a fight going on. So I don't watch it on a daily basis to know if there has been promotion going on this fight. But what I can tell you is no one has really been talking about it on social media. When you go to social media, no one is really talking about this fight at all. No one. So other than that, that's it, man. So I'm kind of looking at, I don't know, man. I did say Josh Taylor, but man, I don't know now because Josh Taylor can get lured into wars, and I just think his fight style. He doesn't fight to me. The guy say, "How do you get your news?" And I get my news from the internet. This is the digital age. So this is the digital age, brother. This is not like how it was in the 70s and 80s. Because of this phone, I get my news from the internet. I don't get it from television. I get my news from the internet because I don't watch TV. I know that sounds strange to you, but there's a lot of people who don't watch TV. Trust me. You know what I mean? Trust me. But yeah, so a lot of the casual fans, they're not going to watch this fight. They don't even know anything about it. And again, this channel here is just basically for boxing fans. If you are a fan of the sport of boxing, that's what this channel is for. If you guys know, I kind of ranted a little bit last week. I want to weed out all fanboys. I even have it. If you go to my channel description, I make it very specific that I am not interested in any fanboys subscribing to the channel. If you are a fanboy, I want to discourage you from subscribing to this channel because this channel is not for you. This is not the fanboy channel. This is for people who love the sport of boxing. So if you are a fan of the sport of boxing, then that's what this channel is for. There's other channels out there that have a bunch of fanboys. There's nothing wrong with that. That's you can go to those channels. But this channel here is more specifically on just the sport of boxing, fighters. We don't push narratives. We're not trying to be in love with one particular fighter. Hell, Terence Crawford is my favorite fighter, and you guys hardly ever see me make any videos about Terence Crawford. And the reason why is because there's really no need to make a video about Terence Crawford. He ain't fighting nobody. So I keep it consistent. My favorite fighter, Terence Crawford, if he don't have any fights coming up, he don't get no airtime with me. He's still my favorite fighter. He don't get no airtime. You know what I mean? So other than that, that's it. So that's how I look at it. Ramirez by Ronald Finkley said Ramirez by a devastating body shot, Undisputed Junior Lightweight Championship. You know what? I could probably see that going down not because of José Ramírez, but because of Robert Garcia. I know Robert Garcia, the way he trained his fighters. I know how Robert Garcia trained his fighters. His fighters he really trains his fighters. You know, they fight the same way. Whether it's Marcos Maidana, whether it's Virgil Ortiz, if you look at them, all of them fight the same way. All of them fight the same way. We're going to come forward. We're going to press you. And, you know, pretty much if you look at most of the Mexican fighters, most Mexican fighters fight the exact same way. Come forward, come forward, come forward. I'm going to eat your punches just to get my shots off. Mexican fighters are known for having good chins. They're known for being able to take a good punch, and they're known for dishing it out. Canelo is a little different. You know what I mean? But when you look at like the old school fighters like Julio Cesar Chavez and Barrera and all of those other ones, they pretty much fight the same way. You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of them, you know, when you study them. And now some of them are good counterpunches, like what's the guy who knocked out Manny Pacquiao after they fought 4 times? Marquez. Marquez is a counterpuncher. I got some tea right here, guys. So got some tea right here. Marquez is a counterpuncher. So Marquez, you know, he's a little different, but pretty much that's how they fight for the most part. And I see José Ramírez pretty much fighting the same way. And if unless Josh Taylor has some pop, but the thing is with Josh Taylor, what I don't like about Josh Taylor's style, he will get into brawls with you when he doesn't have to. He will get into a brawl when he doesn't have to. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. He'll get into a brawl when he doesn't have to. So other than that, man, I mean, that's it. It's a pick 'em fight. I did say I like Josh Taylor, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like him. I don't really like him like that anymore. I'm kind of backing up off of him now. You know, I don't know. You know, I really don't know. This is a 50-50 fight. I'm not betting a dime on this fight. I was gonna bet $50 on Josh Taylor, but I'm not betting nothing on it. Ronald Finkler, what you say, fam? You say Bomac ain't talking either. Nah, they don't do no talking over there. I mean, Bernie the Barber's been talking. He's been roasting Errol Spence and roasting all these other fighters. Basically, the PBC fighters don't want to fight Terence Crawford. They got the message from Uncle Al Heyman. They're not fighting Crawford. Crawford has been in that division, been in welterweight for 3 years, and he has not fought one PBC fighter. So that tells me that up top, they're not letting that fight go down. Al Heyman, Uncle Al is what I call him. Uncle Al, whatever beef or gripes he got with Bob Arum, he's still keeping it going. You know, now Uncle Al didn't mind making that Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight, but then it didn't turn out the way he wanted it to turn out. So I doubt if Uncle Al will allow something like that to happen again. This is why I said that I doubt if Uncle Al Heyman will allow Caleb Plant to fight Canelo Alvarez. He done lost the belt already with Tyson Fury. Do you think he's going to allow Caleb Plant to lose to Canelo? This is the politics of boxing. You know, I remember a brother was telling me that yeah, man, it's going to be too much money for them to turn it down. Child to the please. That's the way you're looking at it. But as it relates to the politics of boxing, these guys get in the way, man. They get in the way and they stop fights and they keep big fights. They'll let certain fights go down, but then other fights they won't let go down. Peter Reeves, what you say? Wizard Sleeve, what you say, fam? Let's see. Well, he said whispers that Ramirez having weight problems. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything, fam, about that. Dragonland said, but what you say? Batswa? I think his name Batsy is a dangerous fighter. Yeah, he's a bad boy. Yeah, that's a bad boy. Yeah, he's a bad boy. Batsy is a pretty good fighter. I think he fights on the AJ. You see what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken. Coach, do you think social media has made some boxers weak? Yeah, really, social media has spoiled a lot of these boxers. And these boxers, they don't have the hunger and the passion to fight. You know what I mean? Right now, they just chilling and laid back. I mean, even my guy, Terence Crawford. I mean, he just chilling, relaxing. He's fine. You know what I mean? I think where he is at, he's tried to make this fight with Errol Spence for 3 years, and he's done. And then when Sean Porter came out and said that, hey, he's been a mentor for Terence Crawford for a year, and he never pressed it or activated the mandatory. He said that he has people that he has to listen to. He has people that he has to answer to, basically. And Sean Porter said that it was not Crawford. It's not him or Crawford. It's It's, you know, he has people he has to listen to. So, i.e., this is why he lost his number one position with the WBO, and they elevated Virgil Ortiz. Sean Porter had that position for a year. Now they elevated Virgil Ortiz. So now Crawford is looking to fight either Virgil Ortiz, who was with Golden Boy, or he's going to fight the winner out of José Ramírez and Josh Taylor. And ironically, both of those fighters are with Top Rank. So all of these companies are doing what? They're making in-house fights. They're making in-house fights with Top Rank is only going to fight Top Rank fighters for the most part. PBC only fights PBC fighters. If you guys notice that, they only fight PBC fighters. So that's pretty much it. Shout out to J Mac. What you say, J Mac? I like Taylor, but I think it's going to be a great close fight. Yeah, it's going to be a close fight, man. I'm leaning towards Taylor, but I'm kind of shaky about Taylor at the same time. To be honest with you, J Mac, because I know what I have an idea of what José Ramírez is going to come with, what he's going to bring to the table. Again, you know, you guys, you know, I'm big on trainers. Robert Garcia, we know how Robert Garcia trains his fighters. And I think the type of style that Josh Taylor is probably going to be lured into fighting is going to play right into José Ramírez's hands. That's what I think. That's what I think, to be honest with you. So, Brandon is a very good boxer. Usyk is a very good boxer. Can take AJ's power and jab. I don't think so. Oh, can he take? Yeah, can he? Oh, you saying can he take AJ's power and jab? I don't think so. A good cruiserweight is okay, but a heavy, yeah. Usyk is very impressive at cruiserweight. Heavyweight, not so. Heavyweight, not so. Elvis Rodriguez 11-0 versus Kenneth Sims Jr. 15-2. All right, 8-round junior welterweights on ESPN Saturday. Yeah, I think that's on the undercard. Did you hear about Bruce Templer, who works with Top Rank, posting a tweet on the 15th, 3 days before the arbitration was decided, stating that Fury already has a July pay-per-view. Yeah, y'all already knew all that. Y'all knew all that. They already had that set up. Angus, what's going on, fam? They already had that set up about Fury, because Bob Arum had that venue secured about 2-3 months ago. They already knew what the leak was going to be. You know what I mean? So that is what it is. I got a very interesting video I'm dropping about Tyson Fury as well. A very interesting video. A lot of Tyson Fury fans and their fanboys are not going to like this video, but it's all going to be truth. It's all going to be just clips of Tyson Fury. Everything that he said, everything that Frank Warren, everything that was pretty much said, a lot of stuff, just the meats and bones of it that was said leading up to this this fight now with Deontay Wilder that he's going to have. So it's going to be very interesting. I do understand that some of the Fury fanboys are going to ignore it because it doesn't fit their narrative that they want to believe about the gypsy, the gypsy queen is what I call them. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Peter Reeves, Coach, do you think Porter, Garcia, and Thurman can get back up top? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think Porter, Garcia, or Thurman can get back up top. Thurman hasn't had a fight in 2 years, so he's not going to get back on top of anything. Mikey Garcia, as long as he stays in the welterweight division, he can forget about that. And Porter don't fought everybody. He's lost to all of the major guys. So the only major guy that he hasn't fought is Terrence Crawford. And he can't get the fight with Crawford because Al Heyman is not going to, he got to get the okay from Al Heyman. So, on the video by Ring, what you say, Graham Taylor? On the video by Ring IQ Boxing Talk called The Relay, Joshua states Wilder/Fury want clout. He wants blood. Yeah. We ought to address all that. Was media arbitration. Yeah, you got to look at the video we dropped yesterday. Graham, I don't address all that already. I just don't want to go back down that rabbit hole. I went through that very thoroughly and extensively for the past couple days. So, I just want to focus on Josh Taylor and José Ramírez. Try not to mention other channel names. Chat, we on New Media Theater USA. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? So, I'm not worried about. Graham Taylor, I know you probably new to the channel. We don't address that already. We don't address that already. You know what I mean? So, none of the major channels are showing the Taylor fight. Yeah, they're not. Now, Mr. Angus, they're not. They're not even showing it. No one is really talking about it. You know what I mean? Because everybody is focused on the drama that's been going on. But no one is talking about it. But we can talk about Usyk versus AJ. Usyk is going to be tricky for AJ. Yeah, absolutely. Usyk is a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He has very good footwork. Usyk is probably going to try to dance a lot around the ring. He will not beat Anthony Joshua dancing, running around the ring. The way he did with Derek Chisora. He won't beat Joshua like that. He's going to have to fight. You see what I'm saying? He's going to have to fight. Coach, have you seen Bud's Mayweather plan? Looking to fight either Ramirez or Taylor, Virgil Ortiz or Mikey Garcia. Two of the dudes are smaller, and Ortiz is a legit welterweight, but Bud himself said Ortiz isn't ready. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. Bud is going to fight whoever's willing to fight him. So if he can't get a fight with any of the PBC fighters. So he needs to move on. So Oscar De La Hoya is willing to sacrifice Virgil Ortiz to fight him, and then José Ramírez and Josh Taylor, what do they have in common? They are both top-ranked fighters. So that's going to be an in-house fight. You see what I'm saying? So if they move up and fight him, cool. It is what it is. Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia. He was a lightweight. Errol Spence fought Lamont Peterson. He was a small guy. You see what I'm saying? So if it's good for Spence, it should be good for Crawford. As far as I'm concerned, thank you for covering this fight. It seems like everyone has forgotten about it. Yeah, everyone has forgotten about it. Everyone has forgotten about it. Okay, finna get out and check on Boxing Eagle. Yeah, absolutely. Fury seems like he a snitch. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Fury is a lot of things. He's a whole lot of things. You know what I mean? He's a whole lot of things. None of the major channels are showing the Josh Taylor fighting in the UK. Yeah, I mean, and Josh Taylor's from Scotland, I think so. Yeah, they're not even showing them. They're not even showing Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez fight. That's crazy. And I think that's because of Bob Arum has done such a terrible job in promoting. That's why I say Bob Arum just need to lay down, just leave the game alone. You're not promoting your fighters. The fighters you do have, you tear them down. You talk bad about them. So, just if you feel that way about the sport of boxing at this point, Bob Arum, or if you feel this way about not only that, but if you feel this way about the sport of boxing, or if you feel this way about your fighters, then why promote anymore? Why not just go ahead and retire, get on out of the way? You're 90 years old. 90. You should be at the old folks' home somewhere chewing on a Jello pudding pop. This is what he needs to do, in my opinion. Kathy, what you say, Kathy? Hey, coach, you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Kathy. I'm real good, Kathy. Angus, what you say, fam? Yeah, no one is really talking about this. Everyone should move away from the PBC. They please themselves, not the sport of boxing. Yeah, not the boxing fans. Yeah, they don't. And that's the problem. The PBC is a very, very toxic, in my opinion, for the sport of boxing. I don't want to hear nothing about, see a lot of these channels, they talk about the PBC because it's Al Heyman. So really what they're pushing this, I'm going to tell you what they're pushing. These are black YouTube channels. They're pushing we got to support the brother man, the black company, the black, that's what they're pushing. They're not pushing boxing. They're pushing narratives. So they're saying that because you're black, you should support and agree with everything that a black channel or a black company says, even if you don't agree with it, even to a default. So they are fanboys of a certain promotional company or management company or advisory company or whatever they want to call themselves. That's what it is. I care nothing about that myself. I care nothing about that. Graham, what you say, fam? I can't wait for Taylor versus Ramirez. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight, man. That's gonna be a good fight. Jose Zepeda versus Hank Lundy. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight too. 10 rounds WBC Silver Junior welterweight. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight. I mean, it's a good undercard. It's a good undercard. It really is. It really is a good undercard, guys. Taylor only went to top rank to get this fight. Yeah. I don't know what the contract is, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he did what he had to do. I don't know how long the contract is, how many years he signed for with Top Rank, but I hope it works out for him. I really do. Coach, if Josh was English, he'd be a megastar, and Hearn would have broken the bank. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't, yeah. Yeah, I mean, because Josh Taylor's only had like 17 fights, I think. You know, it's crazy for him to only have 17 fights and be in this position to become undisputed light welterweight champion of the world is amazing. You know what I mean? Bob Arum is not promoting this fight at all. You know, what's Smith and West? What's going on, fam? You know what I mean? So you said I put mine on Ramirez. That might be a good bet. That might be a good bet. You know, Robert Garcia is a damn good trainer. He's a really good trainer. Peter Reeves, boxing politics deny Vladimir the opportunity of being the undisputed heavyweight champion. I won't be surprised if they deny Joshua. PBC and Wilder will hold the green strap. Yeah, I mean, you know, if that's if they can get the green strap. Because again, there's no guarantee that Wilder is going to beat Tyson Fury. We broke this down already about me personally. I want Deontay Wilder to knock Tyson Fury's block off. I would never support Tyson Fury in life again on anything. There's nothing about Tyson Fury that I like from this day forward. Nothing. I'm just being honest with you guys. That's where I'm at right now with Tyson Fury. Don't want to have nothing to do with him. Don't wish no ill will towards him, but I want to see him get his whole head knocked off when he fight Deontay Wilder. But I say all that to say this. Tyson Fury is a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. You know, and Deontay Wilder only has a puncher's chance to beat Tyson Fury. He only has a puncher's chance because he's not going to outbox him. He's not going to outbox him because he doesn't have the boxing skills to outbox Tyson Fury. This is facts. Shout out to Lisa Bells. Shout out to my sister Lisa Bells. Bob Arum has calculated he needs another $500 million to take him to 135 years old. Bob Arum is on his last leg, and that leg can't get here fast enough, as far as I'm concerned. Usyk has a amateur record of 335-15. Usyk is a real good fighter. That's going to be a very difficult fight for Anthony Joshua. A lot of people sleeping on Usyk in that fight. I don't expect him to win, though. I don't expect him to win. You know, I just don't. But is it going to be a very interesting fight? Absolutely. I could see a late stoppage for Anthony Joshua with Usyk. Or I can see the fight going 12 rounds, and I can see the fight going 12 rounds. But Usyk is going to have to. He's going to have to fight. He can't. He's not going to be able to just. Usyk is a very athletic fighter. He has very good footwork. Usyk might have the best footwork in the heavyweight division. He might have the best footwork in the heavyweight division. Alexander Usyk. I know some people would say no, it's Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury has really good footwork, absolutely, and that's why I would give him the advantage over Wilder. He just has better footwork. Wilder doesn't have any footwork at all. You know, he's 35 years old and he's working on things that he should have learned 15, 16 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So that tells you. Shout out to KB. Shout out to Steven. Steven, what you say, fam? The Scottish will make enough noise for all. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a shame this fight hasn't been promoted. It's a shame this fight hasn't been promoted the way it should have. Agreed, coach. So agreed, and I'm from the UK. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I mean, you know, the fight hasn't been promoted over here. That's crazy. 100 plus 170 for Ramirez. Yeah, okay, plus 170. That ain't really that much, to be honest with you. I just feel like Ramirez is going to force Taylor to fight and not box. Open Taylor up and clip. Yeah. You know what, Smith and Wesson? That's what made me kind of rethink my position. That's what kind of made me rethink my position as it relate to this fight. Because remember, I was saying that I like Josh Taylor, and then I sat back and looked at some boxing footage of Josh Taylor, and it's one weakness that I see that he has. He will get into a war. He likes banging, fighting on the inside. He 5'10", he like fighting on the inside. He can make fights a lot easier. You know what I mean? And I don't think that'd be a good idea fighting a Robert Garcia trained fighter. You know what I mean? So now I'm kind of leaning towards Ramirez, to be honest with you. Because I'm like, man, if Josh Taylor come in fighting the way I think he's going to fight, I don't see him beating José Ramírez. If Josh Taylor comes in and fight the way he's supposed to fight, he can make this a very easy fight. He can make this a very easy fight. Andrew, what's going on, fam? Hi, bro. Braveheart beats El Chapo. Viva la Scotland. Okay. Viva la Scotland. El Chapo. What's up, fam? You know what I mean? So don't ask me. It's hard to watch because I want to see Fury and Wilder get beat. I save my money. AJ versus Usyk. Two great champions that defend their belts against real opponents. Yeah, there's no drama with that. There's no lying, I'm going to fight you. Oh, I may not fight you. Oh, yeah, it's a possibility it may happen. Oh, it may not happen. Oh, I need a bunch of money in my bank account. You know, it's just crazy, man. All this clout chasing is ridiculous. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. If it was up to me, I'd rather see Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury beat the brakes off each other for 12 rounds. Both of them have 4 or 5 knockdowns apiece, mouth bloodied, eyes hanging out, and then they end up in the draw. Tyson Fury and Wilder deserve each other. They deserve each other. But I still wouldn't mind seeing Wilder clip him, knock his whole head off, you know. So I wouldn't mind that. If Ramirez allows Taylor to come out and get into his flow, it's a wrap. Might add, what you say? Might as well pack it in. Yeah, man. I just, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying, Smith and West. I'm like, the thing is like, we don't know. This is a pick'em fight. This is a 50-50 fight. Literally, like, I don't see any advantages that José Ramírez has over Josh Taylor, outside of the fact that José Ramírez has had more fights. Outside of the fact that he has had more fights, he's more experienced as a pro. Outside of that, I don't see any advantages he has over Josh Taylor. And I don't really see any advantages that I do see a couple advantages that Josh Taylor can use, but he's more than likely he's not going to do it. José Ramírez is going to force Josh Taylor to fight his style, and that's it. And who knows how that's going to play out. Usyk will fight AJ like he did Joyce, but AJ would come in light and cut the ring off and take him out. Yeah. I don't know about a 6th round, but I don't know about a 6th round he'll take him out. But I just see that Anthony Joshua, he doesn't want to lose again. And he understands, hey man, the feeling of how it felt when he lost. And I just think that Anthony Joshua is just a better overall fighter in the heavyweight division. Usyk was a beast and a monster at cruiserweight, but at heavyweight he hasn't been a beast, or he hasn't been a monster with the 2 guys I saw him fight. He's been good, you know what I mean. But I'm just saying to me, and maybe it's because I'm not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to watch Usyk at cruiserweight. I saw like 10 of his fights. He's a really good fighter now. He has very, very good footwork, very good hand speed, very good ring IQ. He is. You see what I'm saying? But Alice Gonzalez, what do you say? Taylor versus Ramirez is going to be a war. I do believe that. And if it's going to be a war, I see Ramirez winning that fight. Man, if it's a war. I ain't laughing if it ends in the draw again. Yeah. But I tell you what, though, Sly Tennis, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Coach and Halim and Charlo. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man, in the chat, man. Corn Kid, shout out to you, fam. Jeff Lucietta, shout out to you. Angus, shout out to you, fam. Shout out to everybody. You know what I mean? Peter Ingram says, how the hell is a venue set for Fury Wilder 3 already before Fury Joshua fight is confirmed? That's because that they had no intentions on fighting Joshua in the first place. They always knew that they were going to have to fight Wilder. So they sent Eddie Hearn on this mission to go all over the world to try to put a fight together. They just used Joshua for clout, use Eddie Hearn. They just play Eddie Hearn like a fool. And Eddie Hearn is 41 years old. He's a young promoter. He's only 41. So he's going to learn from this. Coach, you think Ramirez will get the decision? Well, he's fighting in America, so it's a possibility he could if it go 12 rounds. If it go 12 rounds, I still haven't picked a horse. It's close. Yeah, it is. It is a close fight, Jeff. It's a close fight, man, and you just don't know which way to go. You know, but Jeff, I'm gonna say this. If this fight goes 12 rounds, forget 12 rounds. If this fight is a war, I'm giving it to Ramirez. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to. Josh Taylor cannot get into a war with José Ramírez. I think that will fit more of the style of fighting that he wants to fight. Josh Taylor is going to have to box him, pick his battles, but just box him. Don't get lured into we just gonna meet in the middle of the ring and we gonna go blow for blow. Don't do that. You see what I'm saying? This fight will be determined on the inside. José Ramírez is going to force Taylor, and Taylor likes to trade, in my opinion. Ramirez might win in that slugfest. Exactly, Alex. Alex, you hit the nail right on the head. That's exactly how I see it. Wizard Sleeve say inside or out, Taylor wins. I don't know about the inside, Wizard Sleeve. I don't, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. The outside, absolutely. I think the best strategy for Josh Taylor should be to fight José Ramírez on the outside. Because I don't think Ramirez is a better outside fighter than Josh Taylor. That's the strength that I give Josh Taylor. Even though José Ramírez has more experience than Josh Taylor, I still say that Josh Taylor's advantage is to fight José Ramírez on the outside versus fighting him on the inside. Usyk lacks head movement and will be what gets his head knocked off by AJ. His footwork is great, but AJ is underrated. AJ has very underrated footwork, especially from that last fight we saw he had with Andrew Ruiz. And AJ is still learning. He's still learning. And so, listen, a lot of people made mockery of AJ saying, he said he's still learning. Every fighter should still be learning. There's no one fighter that has everything all figured out, that know everything. You know what I mean? Because you have to adjust to whichever opponent that you fight. The fighter that knows it all is the one that's going to get clipped. That's why I say I could possibly see Tyson Fury getting clipped by Wilder. Because if he's overconfident, if he's too confident, and if he underestimates Wilder catching with that shot from Mars, who knows? But we'll see. I'm going to watch that fight. Very interesting, that fight. That fight is going to be massive here in the United States because of all of the drama, all of the gates. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to my brother Sly Tendencies, man, for the super chat. You hit the nail right on the head, fam. If you ain't learning, you ain't winning. Period. Anytime somebody makes mockery of a fighter, when a fighter says, I'm still learning, that tells you everything you need to know. Ronald Finkley, sorry about that, fam. I missed that super chat. The autopsy curtain match. Yeah, man. The autopsy costume, referee, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? But this fight, Ben Davison as a coach, too, he's very risk adverse too. He'll tell Taylor to keep it long. We'll see. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing though. Smith and West. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like some fighters, you can tell. Perfect example, Deontay Wilder. People say, well, Mark Breland wasn't the right trainer for Deontay Wilder. How he wasn't the right trainer? Mark Breland was one of the baddest welterweight and gold medalists in the history of American boxing, period. Especially coming out of the Olympics. But if you have a fighter that's not willing to listen to you, especially if that fighter has always been bailed out by one hand, especially if that fighter has always he always loses fights in the beginning by getting outboxed, but he has perfect timing when it comes to landing that one shot. And that's why I say that you can't sleep on Wilder in this fight, because he has perfect timing when it comes to landing that shot. You know what I mean? So it has perfect timing when it comes to landing that shot. So if he comes back in this fight looking right, I can see that. But will Josh Taylor listen to Ben Davis? You see what I'm saying? Joshua's loss to Ruiz made him better. He cut the muscle off and he got better conditioning. Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's what tripped me out. That's what tripped me out. You know what I mean? You know, fighters lose, man. That happens. That happens. When you hear people say, "Oh man, well, Anthony Joshua lost. He lost to a fat 400-pound Anthony Ruiz." Ha 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 ha. Those guys ain't never watched boxing before. They just started watching boxing 2-3 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So, nah. Evening, coach. Blessings on you and your family. Hey, thanks so much, Alan Skill. What's going on, fam? Thank you so much. Smith and West, what you say, fam? Breland was the perfect trainer for Wilder. His skill set fits Wilder's physical attributes perfect. Yep. But Wilder wasn't interested in learning. You know, you can't teach the unteachable. If a person doesn't want to learn, man, you can talk till your lips fall off. And me personally, I'm gonna be honest with you. Anyone that thinks Wilder is not dangerous anymore are playing with themselves. Yeah, but let's be realistic. Who has the advantage in this fight? Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury has better footwork than Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury has better feints than Deontay Wilder. Defensively, Tyson Fury is a better fighter, right? Tyson Fury has a better corner. He has Sugar Hill. Malik Scott, who is Malik Scott? So let's be realistic too. Tyson Fury has all the intangibles that Deontay Wilder doesn't have. The only thing Deontay Wilder has is that one punch, but he has quickness with it too. If he throws it right down the pipe, instead of doing the windmill punch, because we know he'll do that. And this is another thing. If Wilder comes in the ring angry and can't keep his emotions in check, like he did in the first fight, I just don't see. It's no way he's going to win. There's no way he's going to win. Fury has all the advantages in this fight, guys. He's beat Wilder before. He's humiliating him, and he's made a mockery of him. But in spite of all of that, he still can get clipped. Wilder can clip Fury. This is why they have upsets in the sport of boxing, and that wouldn't even be an upset. So Fury is going to be favorite. So it's curious to see, is Tyson Fury going to come in overconfident? Will Malik Scott be able to get Wilder's ear and make him listen? Maybe that loss is what Wilder needed in order to make him listen. What you say, Ronald Finkler? I don't care to see Wilder versus Fury 3, but if they fight Draper Curtain around the ring, the autopsy going to be epic. Shout out to Onyx. Smith and West, what you say, fam? I hope Malik Scott isn't the only trainer he employs. Man, bro, listen, man. Malik Scott ain't no trainer, man. And all this video where they showing Wilder pushing the log and he's on the mix with Malik Scott. Bro, it don't look impressive to me. They overhyping it. You see what Deontay Wilder is doing with Malik Scott. You see how he hitting the hand mitts. Man, what the I'm like, dude, this is y'all screaming about this? Like, really? You really screaming about this? Wilder don't want to learn. That's why he hired Malik Scott. Yeah, yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. As much as I want to see Fury get his head knocked off, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. And I'm letting it be known. I want to see Tyson Fury get his head knocked off because I don't like the guy anymore. I just don't. But I'm not a fool at the same time. He's fighting Deontay Wilder. He's fighting the guy who can't box, who doesn't have footwork, and a guy who he's humiliated and embarrassed already. And I just don't see Wilder learning. And then he hired Malik Scott. Malik Scott was already in his corner. Malik Scott was already a part of his team already with Mark Breland and JD's. So you didn't bring nobody new. You brought somebody who, I don't know, man. Tyson Fury has all the advantages in this fight. Only thing Tyson Fury need to worry about is the right hand. I wasn't worried about anything else from Wilder. I wasn't worried about anything else. Because when he throw his jab, he don't throw it with conviction like that anyways. I wouldn't worry about that. Wilder fire Scott if he gets KO'd. You know what, man? That's a good question, man. And this is another thing I said too, Coach. It was the windmill punches that floored Fury in the first and second fight. He did not use real. What'd you say? He did not use. He used 1-2 down the middle. I think Fury used his speed and windmills. Third fight. No. What happened in the first fight? Tyson Fury kept doing what? Ducking his head down. Watch that first fight. Every time, the 2 times Fury got knocked down, he was doing this and doing that, trying to duck and dodge at 6'9" tall. Same thing Billy Joe Saunders was doing against Canelo. When you are a taller fighter fighting a shorter fighter, rule number 1, fight tall. Rule number 2, do not duck your head down to make yourself a smaller target so the shorter fighter can hit you. This is how Fury got knocked down the first fight. The second fight, he didn't do any of that the second fight. No ducking his head down, no and then getting clipped on the temple and all of that stuff there. That's all he has to do. Fight tall. If he fight Wilder tall, it can be an easy night for him. If you fight him tall. What you say, Sly Tendencies? The rumor is Wilder ignores a lot of conventional wisdom in boxing, like no isolation, badness. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's impossible. Wilder won't win to me. You just made it clear. You said to you, he won't win. He won't win. You know what I mean? It's not impossible though. I've seen Rockman knocked out Lennox Lewis 20-1 underdog. If you look out throughout the history of Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali, and Leon Spinks had 7 professional fights. And Muhammad Ali is regarded upon most boxing fans and most ex-boxers as the greatest of all time. He lost to a guy that had 7 professional fights. So anything is possible in the sport of boxing. Anything. You know what I mean? Anything. I've been watching boxing too long to know that. Anything is in the KB, what you say, fam? I have to watch the first fight again. Yeah, watch the first fight. Tyson Fury kept ducking his head down. The 9th round when he got knocked down, ducking down. Wilder caught him on top of the head, dropped him. You see what I'm saying? In the second fight, he came with a total different style. He got rid of Ben Davison, and he came with a more aggressive approach, and that was the difference in the fight. Fury let Wilder control the distance the first fight. He was losing all of the rounds. Yeah. That's what happened. Just look at Gene Doe said he ain't beating no Wilder. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Wilder don't have no advantages over Tyson Fury outside of the right hand. Like when you say he ain't beating no Wilder, give me a reason. Give me a boxing reason why Fury will not beat Wilder. Give me a boxing reason. Like, I'm taking my emotions out of it. You guys know how I feel about Fury. I don't like Fury anymore. You know what I mean? But when I'm doing my fight break, and you know I ain't crazy about Wilder neither. But when I do my fight breakdown analysis, I have to take my personal feelings aside. I have to put my personal feelings aside, right, and be honest. What is Deontay Wilder bringing to the table, Gene Doe? Answer this for me, sir. What is Deontay Wilder bringing to the table that convinces you that what is Wilder bringing to the table that convinces you that Fury will not win that third fight? Wilder's next training post should be with Apollo Creed and Creed showing him how to step step shouting or stop shouting like it ain't no tomorrow. Yeah. You know what I mean? What do you say? He already has though twice. Lisa Bells, what you say? Jose Ramirez has longer reach than Taylor. Yeah, that is an advantage. That is an advantage. But Lisa, I think since that the way Jose Ramirez, this is going to be a war between these two. This is going to be a war between these two. And you know, anytime there's a war, you negate your reach because you make it an inside fight game. Perfect example, Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe was like what, 6'4", and he fought like he was 5'10". Big Daddy Bowe. Look how he fought Evander Holyfield. Inside fight game. You know what I mean? So taking unnecessary shots. 17 fights in, and Taylor's record is littered with taking opponents' O's. Josh takes massive leaps with adapting during each step-up fight. And lumps of improvement with every fight. Exactly. You hit the nail right on the head, Owen. And that's what makes me want to bet on Josh Taylor. But I just think that he can't come in with the war. He can't come in fighting the war with because listen, you got to look at Gene, though, what you say. I don't think you ever been in a professional fight yourself. I can see it. When you already make someone hit the canvas, I always that you sleep in them in the next fight. Suddenly Fury is invincible. Bro, you did not answer the question. I said to Dollar, you had a professional fight in your life. I had amateur fights before. I fought amateur for 5 years as a teenager. You still ain't answer the question. And more than likely, you are a fanboy. And if you are a fanboy, you probably need to take your ass somewhere else. Period. If you don't like what I'm saying, bye, Felicia. Now, what Wilder brings to the table, even if it's only the right hand enough, like I said, if someone already touched the camera several times because of it, you ain't beating that man. How? He beat him already. He stopped him, beat the brakes off of him in the second fight. He beat the brakes off of him in the second fight and made his corner throw the towel in. And he made 1,000 excuses for why he lost. What the hell are you talking about? Literally. This dude a fanboy. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. Anyways, due to Tyson's ring IQ and ability to adapt, will make Wilder revert back to the norm after a couple of rounds. Tyson would need to be caught cold early. After that, Tyson wins late stoppage. I can see that. I can see that. Gusto, what you say? I'm Mexican. I've met José Ramírez. I really want him to win, but Taylor is no joke. I ain't biased, and I still think it's 50-50 fight. Yeah, it is. Listen, and I appreciate that. Gusto CB4, MC Gusto CB4. Yeah, you're right about that. I'm gonna tell you something, Gusto. I'm gonna tell you something. Robert Garcia, the game plan that Robert Garcia is going to put in this fight. You know what I mean? I don't want to see Josh Taylor get into a war with José Ramírez. The Mexican fighters are some tough fighters, dog. They some tough fighters. And they are they like the bang, they like the wars. They love it. Josh Taylor liked the bang too, though. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Gusto say, my heart is with Ramirez, more money on Taylor. Man, it's a 50-50 fight. You know what I mean? Like, you listen, if you betting on Ramirez or betting on Josh Taylor, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong either way. Like, to me, that it's a pick 'em fight. We don't know who's gonna win that fight. You know what I mean? Like, both of them are, I don't know. But I keep talking about what's my guy name? Robert Garcia. Keep talking about Robert Garcia. So, Robert Garcia, man, I don't know. I hate betting against this guy, man. Coach, will AJ fight tall and cost us against Usyk, or do we get the AJ that found Parker or Pulev? I think AJ is gonna and it just depends. You know what I mean? Like, he can't fight Usyk the way he fought Pulev, because Usyk and Pulev are two different fighters. Usyk is a little bit more athletic than Pulev. You see what I'm saying? So he can't fight him. He can't fight him like that. He's just gonna. I don't. You know what? That's a good question. I don't know how he's gonna fight him, KB. If you're talking about putting people on the canvas, Wilder and the Fury have put each other on the canvas twice. And then, and that's another thing. Like, this dude talking about he got put on the canvas. Wilder got put on the canvas twice. That dude a fanboy. He's a Wilder fanboy. He's on the wrong channel. You see what I'm saying? He can go somewhere else with that. Fast Lisa Bells. Bo is definitely one of the best heavyweights in the world. Yeah, Riddick Bowe was my guy. What you say? Riddick Bowe was an excellent inside fighter. Yes, he was. He was an excellent inside fighter, Lisa. But he didn't fight tall though. That's the thing. Like, he was 6'4". He didn't fight like it. He fought like he was 5'10". But a lot of the Black American fighters, they specialize in inside fight game. They specialize in inside fighting. A lot of them. Evander Holyfield was an excellent inside fighter. Evander Holyfield was an excellent. Josh Taylor gives away home advantage, even though Ramirez is Mexican. Yeah, you know what I mean. But hopefully it won't come to that. I do see what you're saying, but Josh Taylor, I don't know. Josh Taylor is an excellent fighter, though. I really like that kid, man. I really like that kid. There's no way he should be where he's at with only 17 pro fights. But he has a really good amateur background. So Virgil Hunter never fought pro, but he's one of the best coaches in the world. Yeah, he is. He is. Virgil Hunter is a really good one. I got Taylor because of his versatility. Proud father, you're right about that, and you're not wrong for that. Fury sucks, but with pillow punch Wilder half to death again. The physical condition Fury was in the first fight meant Wilder was taking liberties for a heavyweight champ. Yeah. Cherry picking went wrong in that fight. You know what I mean? Cherry picking went wrong in that fight. What you say? Hey, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Lisa. Yeah, everybody press the like button, man. Everybody hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, if you're not a fanboy, because remember, like this channel, I stress this. We only want people who are fans of the sport of boxing. I'm the only channel that says this on YouTube. You can go to any channel. You can go to any channel in the UK. You can go to any channel in the United States. There is no boxing content creator that I know of that's specifically saying I only want people who are I only want subscribers who are fans of the sport of boxing. I'm the only one that's really stressing that. And I'm the only one that's saying, if you are a fanboy, I do not want you over here. I'm not the guy that I want subscribers. No, I want people who love boxing, not fanboys. That's how I am. I want people who love boxing, not fanboys. See what I'm saying? Because this is not the fanboy channel. My channel ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. It's just not. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to cater to everybody. I just want to do something for people like myself who love the sport of boxing. We can agree to disagree all day. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I hate fanboys though. I swear I hate fanboys. Trying to argue with a fanboy is like trying to argue with a brick wall. Like really. Wilder was also held up by the ropes a few times. Kenny showing him favoritism. Yeah, Wilder really got knocked down more than 2 times. He got knocked down a whole bunch. Like, I can see the one time where they got their feet tangled up. But Kenny Bayless, but yeah, Kenny Bayless was cheating for Fury, even though he took a point for Fury. I don't see how that happened. What's good, Coach? Just want to say I'm loving the channel. Breath of fresh air to get unbiased boxing coverage. Yeah, man, good looking out, Jeffrey, man. I really appreciate that, fam. Proud father, what do you say? Facts, Jeff. I could be a Buche was a monster on the inside. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Wonder if AJ and Usyk will be a 2-fight deal. No, I think it's going to be a 1 fight. It's going to be a 2-fight deal if Anthony Joshua loses. Anytime you are a champion, you're going to have a rematch clause in there saying that if I lose, especially if you're the A side, if I lose, I want my immediate rematch. If I win, it's a one-off. You see what I'm saying? That's how it always is. It's always like that. What do you say now, KB? WBC wasn't called a mandatory yet. Why does an intern champion? Yeah, that's crazy. KB say there's no rematch clause on AJ versus Usyk. Usyk is the mandatory. Yeah, absolutely. You see what I'm saying? So absolutely. James, you want good conversations? Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we want good conversations, man. We want to talk. We just want to stay away from the fanboy. The fanboys is toxic, and I think that's what's ruining. That's what's ruining in my opinion, the sport of boxing. Because you got alphabet boy communities. Those are not boxing fans. Those are fanboy. Those are fanboy channels. You see what I'm saying? So, Gusto, MC Gusto. Hey man, you make me want to go watch that movie again. I'm our players. Hit the like button. Don't be lazy. Yeah, man. Hey man, take care, man, and be safe out there, MC Gusto. I like to say MC Gusto. And y'all watch that movie CB4, bro. That's one of the funniest movies you ever gonna see, bro. Still don't know why Bayless took a point from Fury. Yeah, I don't know why neither, man. Like he didn't. I mean, he warned them one time and then took the point. I don't even get that. You know, like if anything, Bayless was trying to. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know why he took the point for Fury neither. Like, what did Fury? You know, was Fury being rough and fighting dirty with Wilder? Yeah, he was. He was. So them alphabet boy trying to say Fury was cheating the whole time. Look what he was holding this and doing that. I say, man, that ain't cheating. That's just fighting dirty. Wilder fought Ortiz dirty. You know what's good for the gander is good for the goose. If he's this warrior, why you worried about that? You know what I mean? Not necessarily to depend on boxers to have a rematch clause. Look at Loma. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Graham Taylor, what do you say? That left hook hit Chris Bird was unnecessary. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I see exactly what you're saying. You're talking about you talking about Chris Bird. Yeah, Chris Bird was a bad boy too, man. Chris Bird was a bad boy. King Midas, you know they'll find a way to mess White out of that mandatory status again, force him to fight. Yeah, man, listen, the WBC is a joke. The WBC is a joke, bro. Like, someone explain to me why Dillian White has not fought for the WBC championship belt yet. Somebody please explain that to me. This man has been the interim champion like since 1979. Of course, I'm being facetious, but you get my point. When Wilder had the belt, they let Wilder do everything he wanted to do. And when Fury has the belt, they probably gonna let him do the same thing if he continues to keep it. You see what I'm saying? If he continues to keep it. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. New Money DMG, what you say, fam? Coach, I think Wilder lost because he never changed anything in the first fight style after Fury figured out how to take him out. Yeah, and another thing too is this. If Wilder truly believes in his mind that I did not lose the fight because I had no footwork. I did not lose the fight because I had no head movement. I did not lose the fight because I didn't know how to fight at the back foot. I did not lose the fight because I fought a whole bunch of tomato cans that made me feel like I was inferior. You know what I mean? If Wilder doesn't recognize that, then he's not going to make any adjustments. Because he doesn't feel like he needs to make adjustments because he feels like the only reason he lost, he was cheating. And if he feels that way, he's going to lose again. What do you say? He took the point. Then Wilder throws a wild punch at the end of the same round in front of Kenny Bayless. You see what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. We say Wilder loves hitting in the back of the head. Yeah, but the alphabet boys will never admit that. You can show them footage. I can show video footage of how all the times he was hitting Tyson Fury in the back of the head in the first fight, and all the times he was hitting Luis Ortiz in the back of the head, the first and second fight. But they'll ignore that and point out, look, Tyson Fury cheated right here. Come on, man, cut it out. And the referee didn't do this. Listen, when you have supporters who want to call out everything except the obvious. You know what I mean? Have you talked about how AJ said he would never fight Fury even after this stunt? He shouldn't fight him. I already said that. Nooney, I already said that. I got a video I dropped May the 2nd talking about that. And if you was on the live yesterday, you would know we already covered that. He shouldn't fight him for what? How can you fight a man who lies all the time? Fury can say he's gonna fight Anthony Joshua, but if he told 1,000 lies, how can you trust him? Don't even waste your time with that. Just keep moving on. Well, Anthony Joshua need to listen. Far as I'm concerned, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder need to fight each other 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. They need to just keep fighting each other. I'm a Lomo fan, but I don't think AJ makes that dumb mistake. He already needed his champions contingency clause once with Ruiz. Yeah. Well, I think the Lomo situation was different. Because that's an in-house fight between him and Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? What you say, Alan Skill? The one person I feel sorry for in all of this part is White. Apart from White is Joyce. Where does he go from here now? He has no date. Yeah, you're right about that. If Wilder does win, I think he does. White should have his shot. What he should have and what's going to happen on KB is two different things. You ought to know how the WBC work, fam. The WBC work, you know how they work, fam. Throws most illegal windmills. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Jules, what do you say, man? Wilder has made adjustments. The third fight is on its way. We won't know it. We won't know if he made adjustments until we see the third fight. That what I saw in those videos didn't show me nothing. It showed me that they probably worked on that 1,000 times, and he didn't look comfortable doing the stuff that Malik Scott was showing him how to do. I didn't really see the footwork there yet. So we'll know when they fight, when him and Fury fight, that's when we would truly know if he made adjustments. And then I haven't seen them sparring. We haven't seen no sparring. Coach, here's the question. Does Fury fight Wilder the same way he did in the first, or does he fight like he did in the second? Does he fight like he did in the first? He don't need to fight Wilder the way he fought in the first. He don't need to do that. That's playing into Wilder's strength. Fury needs to keep Wilder guessing, feint, and keep him on that back foot. Wilder, I don't think Wilder would be able to outthink Fury. But saying all of that, there's a possibility that Wilder can still land that right hand the right proper way and get Fury out of there. Because he landed it even in the second fight. He landed the right hand in the second fight like 3-4 times. Fury just ate it. He didn't have no power on it when he hit him. He didn't have no power on it. You know what I mean? So, sparring will let you know if a person, if you see what they're doing in sparring, that'll let you know what he did on the hand mitts, with Malik Scott, yeah, that's it. He was saying that's it before Wilder even made a move. It's like they were just trying too hard to show people, yeah, I made improvement, I made adjustments. I ain't really seen no adjustments. You know what I mean? I'd admit, even though Wilder fought low opposition ops, it's impressive how far he got with such weak boxing skills. Exactly, that is impressive. That's very impressive. They say Loma was arrogant and chose to leave it out. He has to complain about a standard clause being omitted. Yeah, that was bad on Loma. And to be honest with you, Loma, hell, if he would have fought Teofimo Lopez again, I don't think he'll beat him again. I just don't think he'll beat him. Especially when you see how thoroughly Teofimo beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko was afraid of that power that that Teofimo had. Teofimo stepped right to him, got up in his chest. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you do them. That's how you do those European fighters. When you fight those Eastern European fighters, you got to go right at them. You got to step right to them. No, we ain't doing none of that pretty boy stuff. I know you have an extensive amateur background, all that pretty cute stuff. Nah, we ain't doing that, playboy. We ain't doing that, playboy. Facts, sparring will tell apart. Your proud father, exactly. He looks good, but I'm keen to see how he looks with punches coming back at him. Yeah, man, he look all right. I've seen better, but the thing is he's learning the basics. He's learning stuff that he should have learned 15 years ago. So you're teaching an old dog new tricks. Angus, the next excuse Wilder makes is he got the splinter off the log. You're teaching an old dog new tricks. And this is going to show you how desperate Wilder's not going to show you everything he's doing. He gave you a little taste. I'm not impressed with the taste. He should have kept that to himself then. Because the little bit I seen, I wasn't impressed with it, to be honest with you. I've been watching boxing long enough to know what's impressive and what's not. This is the old dog. He's never done this before in his career. And now one training camp with Malik Scott, he's gonna all of a sudden become Sugar Ray Robinson or have the footwork of Sugar Ray Leonard or Ali. No, it ain't happening. I just don't see that. Doesn't work that way. But he can still land that one shot though. That's his only chance to beat Tyson Fury, that one shot. And this coming from a guy, I don't care nothing about Fury or Wilder. Just being honest with you. I care nothing about Deontay Wilder nor Tyson Fury. But does Deontay Wilder have an advantage against Tyson Fury? No, he don't. Ring IQ, he has no advantages there. Footwork, he has no advantages there. Defense, he has no advantages there. Feints, he has no advantages there. Understanding angles, he has no advantages there. How to outthink your opponent, he has no advantages there. When it comes to power, Deontay Wilder has the advantage. That's the one thing that Deontay Wilder has. And in the heavyweight division, all it takes is the one shot. So that one shot that Deontay Wilder has is that right hand, that punch. That's his only shot he has. That's the shot I'm giving him. But again, as I said earlier, the guy who came on the channel, he's gone now. I'm glad he's gone. The fanboy. I said, give me some boxing reasons that Deontay Wilder win this fight. What advantage he has from a boxing standpoint against Tyson Fury? He couldn't give me none. You want to know why? Because there is none. He said, well, he put that guy on the mat, on the ground twice in the first fight. Okay, well, Tyson Fury put Deontay Wilder down twice in the second fight, and he stopped him. So what you saying? And this guy had pillow fist, according to Wilder. You see what I'm saying? So if White and Wilder fight, I would come out of the pocket pay-per-view presser. That would be entertaining. White will have Wilder screaming at Raheem again. That'll be a hell of a fight because Dillian White, he's an undisciplined fighter sometimes. Said, well, Loma decided to let his hands go. He had success. Yeah, but that's after he got beat like by the first 7 rounds. Loma didn't let his hands go in the beginning for a reason. When you see a fighter, Noonie, when you see a fighter that don't let his hands go in the beginning, that means he's felt that guy's power. I'm finna tell you exactly what this means. When you see a fighter, Adrian Broner is a perfect example. You say, man, he won't let his hands go. You want to know why he won't let his hands go? Because he understands that the guy who he is fighting is setting a trap to counter him. When you open yourself up, you leave yourself open for what? The counter punch. And if you leave yourself open for a counter punch from a guy who has power, he could potentially stop you, knock you out, or hurt you. Perfect example. Look at the 12th round of the Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez fight. Did you see how Teofimo Lopez almost knocked Lomachenko out? He almost stopped him in the 12th round. You see what I'm saying? He almost stopped him in the 12th round. That's perfect example. So, you know, anybody that looks good on pass or hitting a bag that don't hit back. Perfect example. Listen, you want to see some good pad work? Watch Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is the best pad worker in the history of boxing. Turn it to the side, doing all that look pretty. And then when he get in the ring, he don't do any of that. Hey, you see what I'm saying? All that stuff look pretty. I scored Lomo on Fimo 9-3, and I was pulling for Lomo. I'm just saying all that look pretty, man. All that look pretty. All that look pretty. Eddie Val, what you say? Fanboys and anyone act like a battered woman. How sickening they defend people and they flaws. While the pad work looked the same, he did as Fury too. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, like they're like, yeah, man, you know, Wilder looked like, man, did you see that? Wow. Did you see him pick the log up and he was lifting the log? Wow. That's a fanboy. Hey, Smith the West said he doesn't even need to practice boxing on the back foot. I think that's too advanced for him at this point. What he can improve in this fight is learning how to pivot in opening up angles. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, he has to learn a lot of different things, and he has to learn how to set traps. He got to know how to set traps. You see what I'm saying? That's one thing he can learn and implement with training. And that's the thing. Like, will he be able to learn it in that one training camp? And then this is the thing. Like, I don't have no faith in Malik Scott. Who is Malik Scott? This is the old dog. You teaching new tricks. If Fury puts him on his back foot again, I mean, it might be a replay from the second fight. But Wilder has always a chance to equalize in the right hand. Yes, listen, I think Fury going to put him on the back foot again because this is the way you take away his power. Put him on the back foot, take away that power. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if this fight go 12 rounds neither, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if this fight go 12 rounds and Fury just outpoint him for 12 rounds. I wouldn't be surprised that. Wilder hasn't outboxed anybody in his life. Everybody he's fought, he stopped him for the most part. He's not gonna outbox Fury. You know what I mean? So yeah, when Lomo felt that right hook to the body in the first round, he froze. Then he hoped Tio would tie in the second half. He did. He waited too long. Exactly. Efren, what do you say? Bro don't waste his punches in training. Yep. What do you say? I think Josh Taylor will control the fight until he gets clocked, and then he would turn into groundskeeper on Wiley and rage mode Ward. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can't fight like that, man. Lomo felt that power. That's why he stayed with his hands in the 6th round. Plus, Fimo neutralized Lomo's angles. Yeah, he did. He cut the ring off. Listen, Teofimo put on a hell of a display. He beat Lomachenko easy. You know when Lomachenko fight these other fighters, he be doing like this, like he the matador, teasing the bull and doing like that. He didn't do none of that against Teofimo Lopez. That told me everything I needed to see. And if he fights Teofimo Lopez again, I don't see nothing that, he's going to have to be willing to get in there and trade. He's going to have to be willing to get in there and trade. And that's going to open him up. Wilder can learn 100 new tricks and he still be short 500. What you say? That McDonald fight ruined Broner's psyche. What Uncle Al should have done for his confidence was get AB that rematch. Yeah. Hector, what's going on, fam? Good day, my brother. Salute to you. Coach, Blue Blood said Fury would drop the belt and retire and take Wilder to court. Man, I don't know where they're getting that from, man. I don't know where they're getting that from. Fury going to drop the belt and retire. I mean, that would defeat the whole purpose. Just like, I don't believe that. Why would Fury drop the belt and retire? For what? Fury and Wilder have bad blood against each other. So, Lomo didn't throw his left hand for 6 rounds because he was injured. He wanted to last the distance. Well, that's what he said after the fight. It was injured, but that ain't no excuse. If he was injured, he never should have fought in the first place. From what I saw, he got outclassed. From what I saw, that was an old school, I'm fixing to take the fight to you. No. He fought a guy who had better footwork than he did. When he fought Teofimo Lopez imposed his will on Lomachenko. And then in the 12th round, he dominated him, almost knocked Lomachenko out in the 12th round. Go back and watch the 12th round of the Lomachenko-Teofimo Lopez fight. Teofimo Lopez's father told him, look, you got this fight in the bag. You good. Just stay on the outside of the box. Teofimo did the total opposite. He said, nah, we ain't doing this. We're not finna play these crackhead games today. He went right at him. What you say, Graham? You say, I watched Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns won last night. That was a fight. Some people think Ray was just a classy boxer, but he could be mean. Yeah, Ray could be mean when he had to. He could. In most sports, people improve and learn by taking top opposition. Wilder stagnant because of the level of competition. He's stagnant because of the level of competition, 1, and 2, he's stagnant because he's unteachable. You can't teach him nothing. He don't listen to his corners. You know what I mean? Wilder better start learning how to address himself in public without giving birth or twerking. See, the thing is, if Wilder can learn some good 1-2s and learn how to throw some body shots, it can be a wrinkle that Fury is not ready for. Fury too good to not, though I don't see him losing. Yeah, even if he learned those things, Fury not gonna freeze up and like, oh, he's throwing a body shot, because Fury understands. See, it's all about understanding a fighter's strength and weaknesses. Deontay Wilder's strength is his right hand. He can throw a left hook, he can go to the body, whatever the case may be, but Fury is still gonna be focused on what? That right hand. Take that right hand away from him, he try to get him to win somewhere else. This is what I think going to happen. Wilder, when everything that him and Malik Scott worked on is not working, he's going to revert back to what he knows how to do. Head hunt with the right hand. You see what I'm saying? So, he's going to head hunt with the right hand. Usyk asking more money for AJ fight. What does Usyk deserve? I don't know. I don't know. What you get you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. You see what I'm saying, KB? You get what you negotiate, and that's what it is. Why is boxing promoting these YouTube fights? Because I'm gonna tell you why, Pats Nation. Why is boxing promoting these YouTube fights more than undisputed fights? Boxing is killing himself. Yes. The reason why is because you have the fighters that don't want to fight each other. So what happens is when you don't want to fight each other, and there's a whole lot of drama that's been going on from the heavyweight division all the way down to the welterweight division and some other divisions, then you open up the door for YouTubers. Wilder needs to adopt the Ali strategy. No. We can't even put Ali name. It just talk trash, telling Fury he can't sing and call himself a slaphead. The only difference is Ali had the skills to back it up. When you talk about Deontay Wilder, they talk about one thing: his right hand. They don't talk about Deontay Wilder's skills. When you talk about Deontay Wilder, they don't talk about Deontay Wilder. You see how he threw that check left hook? Did you see how he was able to pivot on the left foot? Did you see how he was able to change angles? They don't talk about none of that. They just talk about the right hand. You didn't see my post on surgery photos the next day. Nah, I didn't see it. Would it be funny if Fury did drop it? Then none of them would be able to have it. Yeah, because if he dropped the belt, I don't know who that. I think it'll go to Dillian White. With Fury, rule out nothing, Coach. Yeah, you're right about that. I can't rule out nothing with Fury. You're right about that. You're right about that. With Fury, anything can happen. Anything can happen with Fury. That ref was BS too. T.O. clipped him, and Lomo's legs buckled, and the ref stepped in and saved Lomo. Exactly. Wilder has always admitted that he's not a great boxer. His right hand is an equalizer. Yes. His right hand was not the equalizer in Tyson Fury's second fight. And when you study the history of boxing, anytime you have a good fighter, a power fighter that jumps in the ring with a good boxer, the boxer always wins. I.e. Ali and George Foreman. Ali was a 9-1 underdog against Foreman, 10-1 underdog or something like that. Everybody on the planet betted against Ali except the people. All the pros say Ali don't stand a chance against Foreman. Guess what happened? Ali knocked Foreman out in 9 rounds. Hey, Coach, the way Blue talks about Malik Scott, you would think he's the second coming of Jesus. Bro, listen, they hyping Malik Scott up like, listen, no, this is the thing, right? All of the pro Wilder fanboys and fans, they know nothing about Malik Scott. They only know what the alphabet boy community, aka the letter people, are feeding them. You say, hey, what you know about Malik Scott training style? What champions have he taught and trained? They couldn't answer that question because they don't know. I normally say a fighter needs to know his strengths and weaknesses and game plan accordingly. But Fury can take the right hand. He needs to add something new. Yeah, Fury can adapt to a lot of different situations. Yes, he can. He can. Blue 2 nights ago was saying how AJ made excuses just like Wilder after the Ruiz fight. No, he didn't. AJ didn't make no excuses. That's a lie. Constantly using every opportunity to badmouth AJ. That's a lie. AJ didn't make no excuses. He didn't make one excuse. Fake news and propaganda. People want to see some clowns fight. Boxers trying to keep their O. Yeah. What you say on we trust too much in power and not enough skills. Yeah, it's just the people who don't know nothing about boxing, they don't know. They don't know what they don't know. Shout out to Stevie J for the $1 super chat. I want to say Florida's a promotional genius. If Tank beats Barrios and gets that inner belt and gets that what's that intern belt, he will be immediately elevated to world champion once the winner of Taylor Ramirez drops the belt or move up to fight Bud. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Ronald Finkler, what you say? Slicing and dicing, Coach. Yeah, yes, sir. Juleson, yeah, Coach, we'll see. Yeah, we will see. That's the beautiful part about it. We'll see. You'll see. Because you have a guy, he has one shot, that right hand, and that's it. That's all he has, to be honest with you. He has the right hand, and that's it. When people talk about Wilder, they don't talk about boxing skills. They just say that right hand. That's all he got. All the fights I've saw, when the big puncher gets in there with the guy who had the boxing skills, they always lose. Always. They either get knocked out or stopped. Really, they either get knocked out or stopped. You know what I mean? What's the main name? Barkley. Iran Barkley. When he fought, what's my brother name from Panama? He said no mas. When he fought Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran was a 20-1 underdog against Iran Barkley. Iran Barkley was a monster. Go back and look at that fight. He was a monster. A monster. Guess who won? Roberto Duran stopped him. I think he like the 10th round, knocked him out. Literally, knocked him out. Can you teach an old dog new tricks? We'll find out. You know what I mean? But hey, guys, listen, man, we're going to wrap it up for the day. You know what I mean? We're going to come back again live tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We'll be back again tomorrow live at 3 o'clock. I'm going to give everybody a shout out, man, for the day. I just want to give José Ramírez and Josh Taylor some love. We will be covering that fight Saturday as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me go ahead and do what we normally do. Shout out to Pass Nation. Shout out to Marcy D. Shout out to KB. Shout out to Lisa Bales. Shout out to Pat. Shout out to James Burrell. Shout out to Onyx. Shout out to MC Gusto CB4. Shout out to Jeff Lucietta. Shout out to King Midas, just like King Midas, as I was told. Shout out to my brother Smith and West. Shout out to Wizard Sleeve. Shout out to KB. Shout out to Ronald Finkley. Shout out to Graham Taylor. Shout out to Noonie. Salute to you, fam. Shout out to Proud Father. Shout out to New Money DMG. Shout out to Bacon and Eggs. Shout out to let's see who else we got. Shout out to I just missed somebody. James. Shout out to James. Shout out to James. I just missed your name. Yeah, shout out to James Burrell. Shout out to Alan Skill. Shout out to Kathy W. Shout out to my brother Smith and West. Shout out to Jules and Nicholas. Shout out to Uwapa. Shout out to my brother Angus. Shout out to Steve J. And shout out to my brother Charlo. And shout out to Hector Garcia. Shout out to Paul CX. Shout out to my big sister Lisa Bales. Shout out to my brother Efren. And shout out to Papayasa. Shout out to James Burrell. And other than that, guys, that's it. That's our boy Coach Malachi Williams representing for New Media Today USA Boxing. We're going to see y'all tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We're going to talk about the heavyweight division. We're going to talk about some other divisions. We're going to interject more on José Ramírez and Josh Taylor fight. And other than that, guys, peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.